This is Dr. Rowe from Masterbooks. In this video, we will discuss how to install the ELILEE-Carbon crank arms, which feature a 24mm titanium spindle compatible with Shimano Press Fit BB. First, you'll need a basic bike maintenance toolset to carry out the installation and removal. Start by removing the pedals. Once the pedals are removed, proceed with removing the non-drive side crank arm. Completely remove the bolts on the non-drive side crank arm. Next, remove the crank arm pin. Use the crank arm fixing bolt tool to remove the fixing bolt. This fixing bolt can be easily removed by hand. Now, remove the drive side crank arm. Once the crank arm is removed, clean off any dirt or debris. Now, prepare the carbon crank arm. First, remove the washer that is attached to the spindle of the carbon crank arm. This is the preload adjuster nut that regulates the crank arm's play. Turn it in the direction of the crank arm to tighten it. Apply the included anti-seize titanium grease to the spindle. Insert the crank arm into the bottom bracket from the non-drive side. When measuring the spindle length, there's about 20 millimeters left. Remove the crank arm again. Add one 2mm washer and one 1mm washer to reduce the spindle length to 17 millimeters. The spider is compatible with either BCD 110 or BCD 130. Since the Dura Ace chainring is lightweight and offers excellent shifting performance, we'll continue using it. You can easily remove the chainring with a hex wrench. The tightening torque for the chainring bolts is around 12 to 16 Newton meters. Now, insert the lock ring. Use the bottom bracket tool to secure the spider. Tighten it to 37 to 40 Newton meters. This requires quite a bit of torque, so tighten it firmly. Next, install the large washer onto the spindle. Since titanium tends to seize when in contact with other metals, be sure to thoroughly apply titanium grease. Install the drive side crank arm onto the spindle and tighten it to 40 to 50 Newton meters. Next, adjust the preload adjuster nut on the non-drive side until the crank arm rotates smoothly. Once the crank arm play is adjusted, be careful not to over-tighten the hex bolt. Tighten it just enough to close any gaps. The Shimano crank arm Q factor is 148 millimeters. If you're buying pedals or crank arms, note that a 1mm washer is included, but we won't be using it. This allows us to reduce the crank Q factor from 151.5 millimeters to 149.5 millimeters. On one side, this difference narrows the Q factor by 0.75 millimeters. The reason for doing this is that a narrower Q factor on a road bike allows for more efficient and linear pedaling. Apply a little grease to the pedal threads, then install the removed pedals onto the new crank arm. The pedal tightening torque should be between 25 to 35 Newton meters. Finally, readjust the front derailleur limit screws, and the job is complete. Shimano Dura Ace crank arms, including chainring bolts, weigh about 554 grams. The ELILEE-Carbon crank arms, including chainring bolts, weigh 369 grams. This results in a weight reduction of about 185 grams for the crank arms. For purchase links, check the pinned comment or the video description. If you're curious about the performance, feel free to click on our channel videos for a review. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe and like, and leave a comment if you have any questions. This has been Dr. Road from Masterbooks. Thank you for watching.